Angels don't always appear with wings or light. Sometimes they walk among us in human form, quiet, unnoticed, but deeply intentional. You may have crossed paths with one without ever knowing. Here are 5 subtle signs you may have encountered an angel on your journey right now. Sign 1. You meet a stranger who appears at the right time, then disappears without a trace. There are moments in life when you find yourself stuck in situations that seem impossible to escape. Maybe your car breaks down in the middle of nowhere at night, in the rain, with no one around. Or you collapse in the middle of a crowded street. And strangely, no one seems to notice. And then, a stranger appears, someone you've never met before. They help you, quickly, kindly, without hesitation. It's as if they know exactly what you need. They don't ask. They don't wait for thanks. They simply help. And then, they're gone. When you turn around to thank them, they're gone. No one knows who they are. No one sees them leave. It feels like they only exist for the brief moment you need them, and then they disappear from this world. The time you may think, maybe it was just a kind passerby. It was just a coincidence. But later, maybe even years later, when you look back, you realize the timing, the circumstances, everything was too perfect to be a coincidence. The Bible frequently mentions angels appearing in human form. No bright lights, no wings, just a normal person in an ordinary setting. If you've ever had one of those in your life. A stranger appears and then disappears as if they never existed. Remember, you may have had an angel and not known it. Sign 2. You receive a strange message, but it speaks directly to your heart. There are days when your heart feels unbearably heavy. You don't know how to keep going. No one seems to understand what you're going through truly. You've lost the words to pray, lost the strength to hope, and then something unexpected happens. Maybe someone says something in passing. Maybe you scroll past a random quote on social media. Maybe a verse you've never paid attention to before suddenly catches your eye. Or maybe a song from long ago plays at just the right moment, and those words hit you right where your soul is aching. You pause. You feel a lump in your throat. It's as if someone is speaking the very thoughts you've been too tired to say out loud. You cry, not because you're sad, but because for the first time in a while, you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel comforted. This is not a coincidence. This is not just luck or timing. This may be a message from an angel. Angels don't always come in visible form. Sometimes they come through a message. A moment. A perfectly placed whisper from heaven. God knows there are times when you're too weary to hear him. He sends an angel, not with thunder or lightning, but with a gentle nudge. A quiet reminder that he's still with you, that you haven't been forgotten, that your life still holds meaning. Think back for a moment. Have you ever heard someone say something, just one sentence, that broke you open inside in the best way possible? Have you ever stopped in your tracks because a billboard, a line in a book, or a lyric felt like God himself speaking to you? Have you ever read something so perfectly timed? Did it bring tears to your eyes? If that has happened, don't dismiss it. You may have just heard an angel speak without even knowing it. And after the fire came a gentle whisper, and the Lord was in the whisper. Sign 3. You sense a gentle, invisible presence bringing peace. There are moments when you're completely alone. No one is around. No voices. No hands reaching out to comfort you. And yet, something shifts. A quiet stillness wraps around you. Soft, warm, and unexplainable. It doesn't frighten you. In fact, it calms you. You can't describe it. You can't explain it logically. But deep down, your soul knows. You're not alone. It might happen when you're breaking down in tears, or during a quiet moment by the window, staring into nothing, feeling empty. And suddenly, a soft breeze brushes your skin. Even though the window is closed. A warmth surrounds you. Though the room is cold. A sense as if someone is standing beside you. You don't see them. You don't hear them. But their presence feels real. You're not afraid. You feel safe, calm, comforted. You don't hear a voice, but it's as if your heart receives a message without words. No one holds you, but you feel held. That presence may be your angel, an angel not here to make a grand appearance, but to stand silently by your side. To whisper without words, I'm here. You're not alone. Throughout Scripture, There are moments where angels don't speak. They didn't perform miracles. They simply appeared as a sign that God was near sometimes. We want to see signs with our eyes, but God speaks to the soul. And His angels don't always come with wings and trumpets. Sometimes they come as a gentle stillness that reaches deeper than words. So, if you've ever felt an unexplained peace, an invisible presence that wrapped around your spirit like a quiet embrace, don't ignore it. You may have felt the nearness of an angel without ever knowing. Sign 4. Strange coincidences keep repeating in your life. Have you ever noticed something strange repeating in your life? You keep seeing the same number everywhere: 111, 222, 444. You hear the same phrase from 3 different people in the same week. You're about to give up on something, and suddenly, someone says exactly what you need to hear. You open a random book and land on the very words your heart was longing for. At first, you brush it off. Just coincidence, right? But deep down, something doesn't feel random at all. When patterns begin repeating subtly, but persistently, when the timing feels too perfect to explain, it may be more than chance. It may be a message, a quiet nudge from an angel. Angels don't always appear with wings or glowing light. Sometimes they speak through signs, through subtle alignments in time, memory, and circumstance. Because they know we don't always listen to voices, but we notice at the repetition. God may send an angel to guide you when you're lost in your thoughts, to remind you that you're not alone, to confirm a path you're afraid to take, or to gently pull you away from something not meant for you. Maybe you don't recognize it the first time, or even the second, but then it happens again, and this time, you can't ignore it. You pause. You wonder, is God trying to tell me something? The answer may be yes. Sometimes angels don't speak in words. They speak in timing, in echoes, in those tiny, sacred moments that seem too perfect, too personal to be coincidence. That a lyric that plays just as you ask a silent question. A sign that appears right as you're making a life-changing decision. A dream that repeats until you finally stop and listen. So if something keeps showing up in your life, if your spirit keeps getting stirred by the same message, and it feels like heaven is leaning in, whispering to you, please don't ignore it. You may be receiving a divine message delivered not with thunder, but with grace. And perhaps an angel is gently trying to get your attention. Sign 5. You escape danger in the nick of time and can't explain why. There are moments in life when you look back and ask yourself, how did I survive that? Why didn't that happen to me? What made me turn around at just the right second? Maybe you narrowly avoided a car accident. Maybe you decided, at the last minute, not to go somewhere, and later found out something terrible happened there. Maybe a strange feeling made you stop, turn back, or hesitate, and in doing so you were protected. People around you may call it luck, but something inside you whispers, that wasn't luck, that was something greater. In the Bible, angels are not just messengers. They are guardians, sent to shield, protect, and guide. They work quietly, without recognition, without needing your attention. Their mission? To keep you alive, long enough to walk into your purpose. Have you ever overslept and missed an appointment, only to learn later there was an accident on the exact route you would have taken? Have you ever changed plans at the last second, only to feel an unshakable sense that something bad was avoided? Have you ever turned your head just in time to stop, to dodge, to breathe? In those moments, you don't always realize what didn't happen, but your soul feels it. You were spared, for He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. God's protection is often invisible, but that doesn't make it any less real. Sometimes, the greatest miracle is the tragedy that never touched you, the silence that saved you, the delay that redirected you to the next time you escaped danger. Not because of what you did, but because of something unexplainable. Pause, give thanks, and consider this. Maybe an angel stepped in, just for you. Angels don't always announce themselves. In moments, in whispers, in miracles, we often overlook. Pay attention, because the next quiet moment in your life might just be heaven reaching out to touch you. If this video has brought you blessing, hope, or a change of heart, please let me know by liking and sharing with those who need to hear. Leave a comment below about how God has spoken to you. Don't forget to subscribe to God Speaks in Dreams for weekly videos to strengthen your walk with God. Your support means a lot to the channel. See you in the next episode.